Hi, everyone. How are you? For those who don't know, my name is Dale Franklin, and this is Mondays with Dale. It's uh, a presentation that we do, basically a training and just a connection that we make every week, so that people know they have a place where they can go, a place where they can find support. So if you haven't done so, and please grab a pen and paper. So if you see anything, there may be a few things you might want to write down. So again, why we do these calls, I want to create a family atmosphere. I want you guys to feel that no matter what you're doing in this business, if you run into a challenge, that you're going to have a place you can reach out to and find some resolution. Our company, My Daily Choice, does a phenomenal job. They have a great support group, but sometimes you just need that, that shoulder to cry on, or you just had a fantastic day and you just want to tell somebody about it, So again, as your time goes on, a lot of the people that are on these calls, you're going to meet them. They're going to become lifelong friends and business partners. So that's one of the reasons. The other one is, this is where we try to keep people up to date. As we're going through this today, I'll show you a lot of different places where you can connect and get the information you need to continue to be be up to date on everything that's going on. We constantly have specials. We have new product lines coming on, new products within the lines. And it's important that you are up to date and know what we're doing. The next part of what I'm going to be talking about, I had somebody ask me the other day, so why do you do that first part every week where you're showing everybody where to connect and things like that? And what I have found is many new affiliates don't get trained or connected to any kind of support. Okay. People sign them up and then say, there, I hope that person does well. I hope they got their website now. They can learn about everything they need to learn about. And I wish them well, but that's as far as they go. And by doing this, I'm trying to make it easy for everyone. Okay. If you don't feel comfortable training your people, if you don't feel comfortable telling them how to connect with other teams, with other support groups, with whatever that's needed for somebody to get started, if you don't feel that you have the ability to do that, then just get them on this call. Just get them here, and we will walk them through everything that's available to them every week in the first 15, 20 minutes of this call. And so you're going to be building a strong team. Think back when you first joined. When you first joined, you enrolled, and maybe you bought a starter kit, and you woke up the next morning and go, oh my God, what have I done? If you don't bring that person that's thinking that first 24 hours, if you don't help them connect with something bigger than just themselves, their chances of surviving in this business are pretty slim, or any business as far as that concerns. You wouldn't hire somebody to be a part of your business and then not train them. You wouldn't hire somebody and have them come into like my tire store. I wouldn't hire somebody, come in and just expect that they know everything that they need to know and just send them out without any evaluation or any training and have them start working on, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cars. You would make sure of what they knew, and you'd make sure that they had access to the information that they would need. So again, that's why I do this every week. So having said that, a couple quick things. If you want to connect with me personally, you can get me on my personal phone number, which is the +1 802-343-9075. That's the +1 802-343-9075. And you can reach me on that through WhatsApp, Telegram, Viber. You can use all those to call me. You could even call me by regular phone. I suggest you don't just call me, because be honest with you, I'm on the phone or on these Zoom calls anywhere from 10 to 11 hours a day, sometimes longer. So if you reach out to me in a message and just say, hey, I'd like to connect with you, then we can schedule a time, and I can make sure I can give you the time that you deserve and when I'm available. Okay. So there again, that's the best thing to do. Also, if you want to connect with me on Facebook, it's facebook.com/DaleFranklin.378. That's DaleFranklin.378. That way, if you want to chat with me on Messenger, you can do that. We can again converse back and forth, or set up another time to chat on a Zoom call or whatever. So again, I am trying like heck to get you connected any way I can, so you'll always feel that you have the support you need. Okay, I don't want you to ever have a challenge in this business that you feel that I was the one that caused, or I wasn't the one that helped you alleviate. So again, this is why I do this. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to bring you to here. This is a website that was made for me by one of my associates, and Barb DeZetis, and it comes in really handy for helping my team. Okay, you can send people here, and they can find out a little bit more about me if they want to. They can come here and check out the community blog and slide down through and see what's going on. You'll see that already we're talking about a presentation by the founders of our company tomorrow. I mean, so it's again another way to keep you up to date. You can come over here to the products, and you can see there's several products in the drop down. If you want to sell a specific product and you want to know more about how to sell that product, the benefits of it, all the things that could make you a quote expert on that product, just click on it. And for instance, if we go to Fuel Factor X, and it's going to show you, there's a couple of short videos, there's a slideshow presentation, there's all kinds of other information, frequently asked questions, testimonials, and several different commercial white paper, all kinds of stuff that you can use as documentation to show that our products work. People, it's one thing to tell somebody something, it's another thing to show them the documentation that backs it up. So again, that's just one of the products that you can check out here and help you to become better adept at selling. Okay, then we go to connections. When you click the connections, it's going to take you here, and this is when I talk about having people connected. Okay, people having a way to stay informed on what's going on. This is a valuable way to do it. You can come here, you subscribe to my email list. You can chat with me on, or you can actually come here on Telegram. If you haven't downloaded Telegram, here's the application right here. To click on that, you can download it. Or click on, if you already have it, click on Telegram, and then you can join me in the Dale Franklin Network Telegram channel. You can join our company's My Daily Choice latest news channel. You can also join the new Fun chat on Telegram, which Fun is our one of the groups that we all belong to. It's part of Chris Robinson, one of the top leaders in our company. It's all his team. And if you go there, there's constantly people posting. There's a chance for you to ask questions, listen, kind of watch what everybody else is talking about, learn about everything that's going on with the company. So again, when I'm not available, or some of your leaders aren't available, there's plenty of places to go where you can find out more if you need to. Same thing on WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp, My Daily MDC Africa 2.0 channel. We got special Africa notices. We got Dale's information funnel, which is everybody that's on my team, some prospects, some affiliates. It's basically just what it says, an information place to go and ask questions, or to reach out to me if you so desire. Then, of course, Facebook. I just talked to you about joining Facebook. If you join Facebook and want to go to Facebook groups, we have the Win Network and Win Testimonials, which again is part of Chris Robinson's team. The testimonials, there's so many great live testimonials there that people talking about how they use certain products that we have and how it changed their lives, affected them in a positive way. Some of these are very emotional. People will actually tear up when they're telling about how certain things have helped them. So again, great place to take your customers or prospective customers. Then we have Team We, which is Chris Bailey's team. Chris was originally out of the Washington, D.C. area. Show you how this business works. He's moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and still able to build his team in Washington, D.C., and another one in Fort Lauderdale. And then, of course, he's building all over the world. Then the Fun Network, again, we have Biz Opportunities, House of Brands, and Training. So all these are places you can click to get more information. I'm going to skip YouTube for a second. I'm going to come down here. Zoom meetings, okay? This, just like the Zoom meeting right here. There are Zoom meetings going on all the time throughout the week. And here are the list of some of them with their Zoom links and their passwords when necessary. The time that they start, that's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It tells you when it's available in Nigeria, Kenya, and all over 11. Yeah, okay, that's correct. When everything is available to you to go watch. There's the one Monday with Dale. There's the one we're doing right now. There's the Freedom Unified Network, having our international Monday night training every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be like 5 a.m. in Kenya. So that's when you either want to, if you want to get up early for that, you can, or we also record most of these. So if we record them, you can watch them at a later time. Tuesdays, same thing. We have a Cosmic Beauty Lounge, talks about our cosmetic line. We have this one here with Chris, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. We're not having a lot of, there's not a lot of activity on that right now because we've been primarily talking about the High Life Travel. So we're going to forego that for a while, especially tomorrow, because tomorrow at the same time is going to be a big opportunity presentation with our founders, Josh and Jenna Zweigel, and our director of training, Mark Aceta. So you want to go to that. But again, we decided that the ideal situation for High Life Travel is probably to do these as needed rather than having a specific time for them. Wednesdays, again, we have the Fun Power Push. Thursdays, Chris and I both do together do a Fuel Factor X presentation at this same time, but on Thursday. So if with the FFX growing so fast throughout the world right now, this is one you certainly want to get on and bring your prospects. Okay. And then Fridays we have another Fun Power Push, and then every month we have a Super Saturday, which is 90 minutes filled with all kinds of leadership information, all kinds of different speakers speaking for 10 to 12 minutes, fast paced, a lot of information. This week we got the owner of our company, Josh Zweigel, is going to be on and give a chat with us. So that's going to be fantastic. So you want to make sure you hit that. So this Super Saturday is this coming Saturday the 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is again 9 p.m. Kenya, 8 p.m. South Africa, and so on and so on. So again, there's a link for it, the password, everything you need. Now let's go back up here real quick before we get to the regular training today. And I want to just click on YouTube. You click on YouTube and you come and click on videos. You're going to see all the videos that I've done over these years. Okay. And there's a ton of them. And you're going to able to go through that, and you can learn more about how you use your back office of your website. Training on compensation, training on relationship mapping, which we're going to be doing today. All kinds of different you listen to a lot of other leaders and hear the different ways they build their team. All kinds of stuff you can go through here and listen to if you want. Now, we also broke it down by playlists, so you can break it down into training, Spanish subtitles, opportunity presentations, comp plan, French subtitles, Ukrainian subtitles, Swahili subtitles, and all our Super Saturday trainings. But the one that I think is the best here is this one here, Starter Set. We click on Starter Set. This is a full list of 8 videos that basically, if you never spoke to me or anybody else again in this business and wanted to build a $1 million business, you could do it using these 8 videos. Okay. You've got the top one, 38 minutes long, is Chris Bailey doing a full opportunity presentation. You have a 41-minute one, which is Chris and me doing one of our Thursday presentations specifically on the Fuel Factor X. You have one here that's being done by Aaron, which is High Life Travel Overview on the prepaid travel savings. Okay, 20 minutes long, gives you an overview of what our High Life Travel does. Then you have Monday with Dale, which is this is a back office training. I do this about once every, I don't know, every 3 months. I update it because we're always adding new features to our back office. So I walk you through the back office so that you know where to find things, where to get the stuff you might need if you're trying to sell to somebody or trying to impress somebody with your knowledge, and the fact that we do have an incredible back office with all kinds of information, videos, testimonials, you name it. So again, that one is really handy to learn about how to use your website. Then we have relationship mapping, which we're going to be talking about today. So I won't go into that too much, but that's, to me, I think this is one of the most important trainings you can get in network marketing. Then we have the compensation plan, 3 different videos on compensation plan. We have one with Chris Robinson, just to kind of a quick and dirty, goes over the comp plan real quick. And then we have Chris Bailey doing a 2-parter. The first part is about an hour and a half long. It really talks about the overall compensation plan. And then it has a part 2, which really breaks it down even further and shows you the strategies that you can use to maximize your income and the income of your team. So again, to me, this is so important. And again, everything I've done right now up to this point, I've done so that when you enroll new people, bring them on, connect them with us on Mondays so we can walk them through. Can you imagine somebody that got up this morning, was a little confused about what they had just joined, and all of a sudden they see all the stuff that's available to them. They now say, okay, I can go to this video and I can learn more about that compensation plan. I really didn't get that. Or they can go and say, oh, okay, I want to know more about the Fuel Factor X. Or I got a website, but I don't really know how to use it. Let me go to this back office and check this out. So again, it just creates that comfort level for people that are just starting out, and they want to feel part of this. They want to feel like they're not on an island, that there's more to it than what they just saw when they saw the presentation. And this, to me, this just makes everybody feel more comfortable to build, to do what they need to do to be successful in this business. And it takes some of the weight off of some of my leaders, so they don't have to feel like they have to constantly be training. All they have to do is refer to this, and they'll learn more. So having said all that, I'm going to stop this for a second. A couple other things I just want to point out real quick. On top of everything I've showed you, also Jody Levanway, who's on here, she does a update every evening for many of the groups, and tells you what's going on tomorrow, maybe later on the week. There may be additional trainings. Like, for instance, tomorrow we got that opportunity presentation by the founders of the company, and then training by Mark Aceta afterwards. She's going to tell you about that. She's going to tell you about any promos that we're having, any incentives, anything new that's happening. So you're going to always be up to date on what's going on. So that is that. I just want to go over a couple more quick things, and then we'll move on to this training. So again, I'm going to tell you about 4 different things that are happening this week, and they're all happening at the exact same time in your time zone. Okay, so I'm talking about these 4 things that are happening at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 7 p.m. in Nigeria, 8 p.m. in South Africa, 9 p.m. in Kenya. One of them is obviously what we're doing right now, Mondays with Dale. Okay, this happens every Monday at the same time. Then on this Tuesday, there is going to be, as I said, an opportunity presentation and training by Josh and Jenna Zweigel, the owners of our company, telling you all about our business and how it works. And then it's going to be followed up by Mark Aceta giving us some training. So imagine you can get people to enroll tomorrow with the owners of the company, and then immediately have training so you know what to do right afterwards. So I'm pretty excited. This could be a huge turnout, and it's going to be recorded. So if you don't get to see it, you can either download it, go to your back office, watch it, or reach out to us and we can get it to you. So again, incredible thing going on Tuesday. On Thursday, Chris and I are going to be doing our FFX opportunity presentation for the African market, or for the world as far as that's concerned. And again, same time is what we're doing right now, but it'll be on Thursday. And then on Saturday is our Super Saturday, which is sponsored by the Freedom Unified Network. And our special guest is going to be, again, Josh Swagel. It's the first time Josh has ever been on one of our Super Saturdays. And his topic is going to be why MDC, why right now, and how to build momentum through December and into the new year. So if you're just getting started, or if you've been in this business for a long time, you know that it's so important. The first quarter of the year is just huge for network marketing. And with us having our annual sale on 4/20, that we always have April 20th, you can build momentum through January, February, March, and into April. But it starts right now, ending the year strong, so your momentum is strong into the new year. So you're going to want to get on there and listen to him. I want to mention one incentive before we go any further. This is an incentive for Chris Robinson's team, including myself, Chris Bailey, a bunch of us leaders. Our team's in Africa. There is going to be a boot camp in Budapest, Hungary, on the 27th through the 29th. But we're going to talk about the overall trip from January 26th to the 30th in Budapest, coming up the end of January. And here is the incentive program that we put together. You must buy a 16-pack of FFX from your website so that we can track it. Okay, that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing, if you reach 5K affiliate between now and the end of December, we're going to pay for your ticket to go to that meeting in Budapest. If you hit 10K affiliate by the end of this month, end of December, we will not only pay for your ticket, but we'll also pay for your hotel room. And if you make 25K affiliate by the end of December, we're going to pay for your ticket, your airfare, your hotel room, the whole thing. Okay. So again, this is a great incentive, great chance to go to this incentive, this boot camp that we're going to have. Mark Assetta is going to be there. Josh and Jenna Zweigel is going to be there. I hope to be there. Chris Robinson is going to be there. It's going to be a great learning experience, a great way to kick off your year. And if you work hard this month, you could be free. Okay. So again, the program goes through the end of December. And a couple things, if you're serious about doing this, you're going to need a visa for Hungary, but it's a very easy visa to get, but you need to start working on it now. And the other thing is for people who try to get to US for our international convention and couldn't get there because of COVID restrictions, there's no COVID restrictions right now in Hungary. So you can get there very easily. So that is the incentives that we're doing. Okay, I want to talk now a little bit about this next video that I'm going to be showing. I'm going to pull it up here as we are speaking. The reason I'm doing a video on this is this lady, Nadine Lewis. I've known her for many years. She does the best relationship map training I've ever seen. Now, you got to pay attention here, guys, because this training is basically training you on how to create a strong team based on connecting friends to the same team. Okay, it creates longevity because you're working with people that you know, you love, you respect, and you want to work together with. Okay, this video is a little bit dated. She's in this video. She is talking about she may mention something about the compensation plan or the ranking of another company. Totally ignore that. It's just that she just mentions it a little bit. What the importance is the concept. The concept of this way of building your team is incredibly strong, and I know you're going to see the value of it. Okay, so without further ado, this is about 30 minutes long, and we're going to get started right now. So let me start this up, and I'll increase the size, and everybody can watch it. So let's take you right to the relationship mapping. Now, this is just about exactly 30 minutes long. And guys, this is Nadine, the person who's telling this is somebody who, when she did it, she was with one of our previous company. So she does mention a couple things about that. Don't let that bother you. What we're looking at is the concept. And so I don't want to confuse you when she starts talking about another comp plan or something like that. But again, the training on this, what she suggests you do as far as relationship mapping and how it kind of ties into Facebook, your Facebook friends, is incredible. So please hang in here and watch it. I think you're going to be very, very impressed. If you've seen it before, it doesn't hurt. I've seen it 3-4 dozen times, and I get excited every time I watch it. If you haven't seen it before, I think you're going to be really impressed. So let me share my screen. And here we go.
Are the following 6 topics. We're going to go through building strategy. We're going to go through your approach, your presentation, your follow-up, your close, and how to train and mentor. We're going to move very quickly, but this is recorded, so if you need to watch it again, you're going to be able to do that. Let's start with building strategy. I'm going to teach you a building strategy that was recently taught to me by a multi-millionaire friend of mine who has managed to do this business incredibly effectively. Now, what I call effective building is when someone can do it more than one time and show successfully, as well as replicate that process with other people and sustain it for the long term. This gentleman reached the equivalent of what we would have as a blue diamond in a 30-day period of time, replicated that with 4 of his frontline people, and then continued to replicate through that work through the organization, setting records that have never been beat since and had never been accomplished before that time. This gentleman has a tremendous amount of respect in my book, but he's also a great mentor for me. Anybody who can be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, over $400,000 a month in this kind of an industry, and do it successfully and have it be residual where they haven't worked for 5 years since they built that, they deserve some respect. As we sat, he sat and taught us all how he built his organizations and why it was that they were sustainable, why it was that once they were built, they stayed in place and continued to build, and why it was that with this strategy, you can overcome so many of the hurdles that many people find in this industry. And we are going to teach you exactly how to do that today. Once you have that picture in your mind and you understand how to do that, we're actually going to go through the exercise of doing it. And then we're going to move forward through these additional pieces and make sure that you know how to capitalize on really establishing a very strong Allure of A business. So let's start with building strategy. The way you're going to build and strategize is consider this to be you at the top of this circle. Now, what I'm going to put on here is I'm going to put a little A1 just for fun. Now, A1 is a designation that just reminds you we're talking about A players. Who in your mind is the single best person you can think of that you want to do this business with? They are entrepreneurs. They are driven. They are business owners. They are financially motivated. They are the kind of person who says, if I make a decision to do this, then get out of my way because that's exactly what I'm going to do. Who is that person for you? Now, you should be thinking of a name or 2 names, but think of the person that you can think of first. And I want you to write that name down on your own individual paper. You should have one. And it should look a lot like this form right here. You're going to write that name on it. Now, I'm going to do this exercise for you, and then you're going to do it yourself on your individual papers. So watch carefully. For me, that person is Gary, okay? So I'm going to write Gary's name down right here. Then I'm going to say, okay, who do Gary and I both know together? Who's someone we both know that could be good at this? Well, you know what? We both know Shane. So I'm going to put Shane's name down here. Who's someone else we both know? Well, we both know Tammy. So we're going to put Tammy right here. Who is someone else we both know? We both know Ryan. So I'm going to put Ryan right here. Who is someone? And then what I want you to do is once you have about 3 names down, you're going to do a little evaluation. Out of Shane, Tammy, and Ryan, which one of those people has the greatest social influence? Meaning, if these guys know each other, which one of them bears the greatest ability to sway the opinion of the social group around them? Well, in this group, I would actually say that Shane does. So I think Shane's in the right place. But what about here between Tammy and Ryan? Well, actually, Ryan has a little bit more social sway than Tammy. So I'm going to switch the order. And I'm going to now say Gary, Shane, Ryan, and Tim. Hey, who's another person that we both know? Well, we actually both know Jillian. Now, what about Jillian? Ooh, actually, Jillian's pretty good. A matter of fact, Jillian's a very successful woman, and a lot of people hold her in high regard. I would say actually that Jillian is a little higher than Ryan up here. So now I'm going to move Jillian there. I'm going to move Ryan here, and I'm going to move Tammy to here. So now I've got Gary, Shane, Jillian, Ryan, Tammy. Now this exercise can continue down as deep as you can go to the people that the two of you both know together. Now, this I like to call the Facebook principle. If you're sitting there and you can't think of somebody that you both know, open Facebook and look at the people that you both have as friends connected with you on Facebook, because that's what this is about. Who are you connected with? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to do the same thing, except for this is number 2. Who is another person you can think of that is a business owner? This is a person that is entrepreneurial driven. They are financially motivated. When they see opportunity, they grab for it with both hands and dive in with both feet. And you'd love to work with them because they are energetic and passionate and they love what they do. Okay, write that name down. For me, I'm going to go ahead and say, for me, that person is Chris. Chris is one of those kinds of people. Well, who is somebody that both Chris and I know? Well, Chris and I both know Nicholas. Okay, so I'm going to write down Nicholas. And Chris and I also both know Chloe. So I'm going to write down Chloe. And Chris and I also both know, who else do we both know? We both know Benjamin, actually. So let's write down Benjamin. Now, out of Nicholas, Chloe, and Benjamin, who has the greatest impact? Well, in this scenario, Ben does, and I would say then Chloe and then Nicholas. So let's say, for example, that was the way it worked out. Then you'd say, okay, who else do we both know? And you get the picture. You continue the exercise down and you fill in the next name and the next name until you can't think of any more, and it continues to go down in this motion. And then guess what? You got it. You're going to do it again for number 3. You're going to fill in that name. And then you're going to say, who do we both know? And you're going to fill in the name. And who else do we both know? Fill in the name. Who else do we both know? Fill in the name. Who else do we both know? Fill in the name. Now, in social influence, who has the greatest social influence? And so on. Now, I want you to do this 4 times. You are going to do this exercise 4 times. And I'm going to show you what makes this exercise so remarkably powerful is this. Number 1, you and the person that you're bringing in are now going to talk to people that you both know. And you've moved the social influencers to the top, so you're going to talk to them first. So what happens when both Gary and I go and say, Shane, Gary and I want to talk to you about a business that we're doing? What happens when 2 of you approach someone that you both know, love, and respect? Now, what happens when you and Gary and Shane talk to Jillian? You say, Jillian, Gary and Shane and I have started a business. What happens when Jillian is in and you go to Ryan and you say, Ryan, we're getting the gang back together. Jillian, Shane, Gary, and I, and other people that you know, we're doing this business together. You know what happens is you create social influence on the people that are coming in here, because now they're becoming part of something that more and more people that they love and respect have already decided is a good, legitimate business model. You're adding credibility to the business model, and you're providing for people a sense of security that what they're about to engage in is a good thing. The other thing that you're doing is you're creating lines of social influence. You're creating a line of people that want to do business together. These are people who are friends and acquaintances. They know each other. When you're having a business meeting, they want to show up, not because they feel like they're sitting in a room full of strangers, but because they're sitting in a room full of friends. This gives you the opportunity to create lines where all of these people are socially connected. Here's the other thing that this strategy does. Now, this is incredibly important. And I will fully admit I've made this mistake in my own business and just have made this mistake up until very recently. But what do we do normally when we bring somebody into the business? We say, okay, you need to go get 4 people, okay? So here you are, and you're gonna go get 4 people. Go. Yeah, see, that's the problem. You can't go, because how much do you know right now? You know almost nothing. You're sitting there thinking, okay, go get 4 people, go get 4 people. What does that even mean to you when you're brand new? If you've been to a meeting, you sat through an opportunity meeting, you saw the opportunity for yourself and you enroll and you leave there and your instruction is go get 4 people, you have no idea what you're doing. Right? And even if your ignorance on fire and you're just excited and you go out and start talking to people and you do go get your 4 people, you go get 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to make some money, aren't you? And it's exciting. But how much money did those 4 people make? They didn't make anything because you were focused on getting your people. Now what we do is we think, well, that's not my responsibility. They should be responsible for going and getting their 4. But why do you think it is that your business is moving so slowly? Why do you think that is that normally in network marketing, there's a lot of people that come in and never even get started in the business? It's because they come in and they go get 4. And they feel like they need to know more information before they can start. They feel like they need to be trained before they can start. They feel like they need to have somebody teach them exactly what to say before they can start. But here is the beauty of this business model and this duplication style. You and me and Gary are going to coach Shane together. And guess who's probably going to do the talking? You got it. I am. Why? Because I've been in the business a long time and I already know how to talk to people. And I can talk to Shane just as easily as Gary could because I know him. This is not a cold prospect. This is not someone who doesn't have respect for me. This is someone we already both know. And guess who's going to end up making the phone call to Jillian? You got it. I am with Shane or with Gary and Shane sitting right next to me. And guess who's going to end up making the phone call to Ryan? I am with Gary and Shane and Jillian on the line with me. Even if they're not talking, they're listening, because guess what happens now? I go ahead and I make these first 3 phone calls for Gary after he's watched me do this 3 times. What is he doing? He's learning how to do it himself. And guess what else? He has tremendous confidence because I didn't send him out there to let him screw up his first 7 contacts. I made his first 3 for him. I have already learned how to do this. I have already had success doing this. I can approach this with confidence. Never forget that 93% of communication is nonverbal. So we take our people out, and even if we give them a script, even if we teach them exactly what to say, 93% of that communication is nonverbal. So where's their confidence? If they don't know what they're doing and they feel that way, where is their confidence? It's certainly not going to come through in communication. But this building strategy allows us to change that. This building strategy allows us, this person that's already had success and already has confidence, to do the talking through these first 3. Now, this person has success, right? They have a team that's 3 deep for them. So guess what they get to do? They get to make the next phone call. And more importantly than that, they are going to do the same exact exercise and they're going to start their next line. Then they're going to do it again until they have 4 lines, just like you did. All right. Now you can see how that would work, but let me now talk about how you're going to push this to a whole different level. And it is this. Pay attention because this is important. Wealth, urgency are synonymous. Okay, wealth and urgency are synonymous. If you don't do this fast, if you don't build your business quickly, it's not going to build. And this is why. Let's say I go out there and I bring in Gary and I'm feeling very good about myself. I've got the rah, I'm cheering. I took a snack break because I was so excited that I had success. Man, got my 1 guy. I feel great, but how does Gary feel? He feels like he's brand new in a business that he doesn't know how to do and he's not succeeding because nothing's happening. Okay, but what happens when I talk to Gary and before Gary ever leaves the appointment, he and I have done this exercise together and he and I have a map laid out of his 20 people that he not only knows, but knows well, that has relationships with these people. Here's what happens. Number 1, we now have a plan. When I did this map, I have an exact plan. And I'm gonna go talk to people, and we all know each other, and we all have relationships. And I sit there and I look at 20 people on a piece of paper, and all of a sudden, seeing is believing, and believing makes it possible for me to go achieve that. I have these people in place. I know these people, and guess what I didn't do? I didn't say, go make me a list of 20 people. I asked for one name at a time and then allowed association, which, by the way, you can leverage Facebook as a tool to get. Once everybody has their map laid out of 20 people, they have a plan, they have a vision, and they know how to go accomplish it, and they know they're never accomplishing it alone. Incredibly, incredibly important. Now, when it comes to speed, no longer do I tell you to go get your 4 and have you waiting to figure out how to go talk to somebody. Before you left my office, we have your map down. And guess what we can do? Gary, let's call Shane. Let's call Shane really quickly before you leave today. Let's call him. Now, true story, when we were taught this exercise on a Wednesday afternoon. On a Wednesday afternoon in my own home, we were taught this. The gentleman who was teaching brought a brand new person to the front of the room, and he said, let's do this exercise. We did the exercise with him. He immediately texted his A1 person and said, hey, can you come over here? I want to show you what we're learning right now. This person showed up. We had a conversation with that person, presented the business. And by the time the presentation was over, the two of them made a phone call to the next person down. They invited them to come over and talk with them for a minute. That person came over. They talked to the person about the business, and by the time they were halfway through the conversation, they had already contacted this person and said, hey, the 3 of us are here. Can you come on over? We want to show you what we're doing together. They brought this person over, and what ended up happening, I'm not joking, is we went with this brand new person. We went 4 generations deep, 2 wide over here, and 2 more deep on this leg in 90 minutes. Okay, not 90 days. We didn't bring 7 people in an organization in 90 days. We brought 7 people in the organization in 90 minutes. Now, the gentleman that taught us this said, if you get together and you do a power Saturday, for example, and you say, I'm going to sit here from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I am going to drive the lines as far as I can drive them today, you know what can happen? This gentleman went 6 wide and 13 deep in a day. Okay, 6 legs wide, 13 deep on each leg minimum in 1 day. How'd they do it? Hey, let's call that person. Hey, while we're talking on the phone, let's call that person. Hey, now come over here. Let's work together today and call these 3 people. All right. Now, in sales, there's certain tactics that we use, and one of them is fear of loss, right? Well, what happens when you show up and you're Gary and you see my chart and you realize I'm going to call Shane, Jillian, Ryan, and Tammy? Those are all people you know. And you know that I'm going to call them with or without you. A little bit of fear of loss, because you now know this is the place for you to be. Now, one more thing on this point really quickly that I want to make, and then I'm going to show you how we capitalize on this when it comes to volume, okay? When you're working with these people, something that's really important to keep in mind is that I can go very quickly with these people because of the relationships that I have, but I can also, I can go as deep as possible, and every single person, now Gary has a paycheck, Shane has a paycheck, Jillian has a paycheck, Ryan has a paycheck, because we are putting people down the line. Don't be so caught up in feeling like you need to capture everybody on your front level and enroll everybody yourself. In this compensation plan, you can maximize the entire compensation plan with 10 frontline people, 10 total. If you did this exercise before, what happens once you've been driving those lines deep? Go do it again, go do a 5th line, then go do a 6th line, then go do a 7th line. But this much I can tell you, if you are doing this correctly, you will be so busy driving these first couple of lines, you're not going to have time to go do your 3rd line right away until these are established. Now, this is what's happened for me. We have now been doing this for 1 week. 1 week we've been doing this since last Thursday, okay? We have brought in that 1 week period of time 47 new people onto our team. No, actually, no, we added 5 last night. So we have brought in 52 52 new people in a 1 week period of time doing this methodology. I have talked to a minimum of 5 to 6 new people a day, and they're not my personals. I'm having conversations with my personals, and we're branching out and driving their lines deep. And now guess what happened? Yesterday, I was booked solid talking to people. And guess what happened? No big deal, because they called this person and this person. And they called this person and this person. Those people did the calls, and we had 5 signups yesterday, and I only talked to 1 of those people. Because now these people are becoming competent and confident that they can present the information in a powerful way that resonates. Okay, so this is a building strategy that is on fire. I've never seen anything work this well. I understand why it works this well. I don't know why it took so long for the rest of us to catch on, but now that he has taught us how fast someone can build an organization and how strong it can be, because as you're driving depth in these legs, you're driving stability and creating paychecks for every person along the way, and then you go wide. So it's a really, really awesome building strategy, but I want to show you what it means to you in terms of income. Now, you just saw we have like 20 squares, and all of you have your piece of paper. So you should see there's about 20 squares on your piece of paper. Now, when you do this exercise, which we'll give you time to do in a bit, you're going to notice that it is incredibly easy and quick for you to put down 20 names on a piece of paper. And you find those first one, and then you just pick, who do we know together? Who do we both know? Boom, 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 boom. There's my next one. Who do we both know? Boom, 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 boom. I have done this exercise now with 40 plus people, 5 minutes tops, and we have a map of 20 names. And it started with 1 name every single time. And sometimes we did have to pull out our phones and pull up the Facebook app and look at the relationships, and that's fine. But this is the power of that. You have 20 people, okay? 20 people. What happens when you do that exact exercise with those 20 people? You have those 20 people now have 20. Do you know how big your team is? 400. When those people are on a 100 PV auto ship, you have 40,000 in team volume. That's twice the amount that you need to be a Sapphire in this company. That's twice the amount you need to be driving a new Audi. That's twice the amount you need to be earning that $10,000 bonus at the Sapphire level and making the kind of income that has replaced my income, go full out, guts out income. Okay? But let's talk about what happens as we go through this. As you talk to your 20 people, not everybody is going to want to do the business. That's fine. Replace them with somebody who does. But when you replace them, I want to show you, this is really important. As you're talking to them, use these words. A B is a business owner, okay? An S is a salesperson, and a C is a customer. Every person that you come across fits into one of these categories. They either have an entrepreneurial mindset and they get the business and they want to do it, or they think I could sell that product, but they're not necessarily interested in building a team, or they're just a customer who wouldn't want the benefits of this product. So when I talk to them, I never cross anybody off my list. I acquire my business builders, and then I move forward from there and continue to find people the 2 of us know and drive, as you notice the arrow going deep. I drive deep this direction and find more business owners, but I maintain notes so that I know who I have in the system as customers and salespeople. Wealth and urgency are synonymous. If I go out there and I build 4 across in 1 week's time, or say a month, I go get 4 in a month, and I feel pretty good about that, right? I would have got 4 people in a month. You got a paycheck, but those 4 people made nothing. If that's what you were focused on and that's what you did, you got a paycheck and your 4 people made nothing. Now, how long are you going to stay in a business where you made nothing? Now, the mindset might be, well, it's their job. They got to go get 4. You can maintain that mindset, and you will also maintain the current pace of your build and the current fallout of your distributor base. You can stay at the industry averages, but if you want to raise your game, then don't just be thinking, I need to go get 4. Be thinking, I'm going to find 4. I'm going to drive lines deep in that 4, because people on my team are going to make money. Because this is going to be fun, guys, and to have fun requires 3 things. You got to be coachable, and you got to be learning things. You got to be making money, And number three, your team has to be making money. It is not fun when the people you bring into the business aren't making money. So this is about building in a team strategy that makes everybody money, drives lines, and gives people a reason to stay, gives people a reason to work, gives people a reason to get excited. And that is where your urgency comes in. That is where you start to move the lines very, very quickly. And when people see the numbers coming in around them quickly, they move quickly. And when that happens, your organization moves quickly. And all of a sudden, you have big paychecks emerging quickly. Wealth is synonymous with urgency. All right, now every single one of you received one of these forms. I want you to go through this exercise. I want you to put your name at the top. I already did that for you with the you, but you are going to put your top 4 people. You're going to think, who do I know? Who do the both of us know together? Fill it in. Rank it according to social influence. That is going to be important. Now, we're not going to stop the video here and give you time to do that, but you understand your exercise. And I'm sure that you can take your time as soon as you're done watching this, or you can push pause if you're watching this on your own, and at a later time as a repeat, and do that exercise. Okay. So building strategy, we all got that, right? Awesome. Okay. Approach. How do I approach people? If I'm going to have this and I'm going to need to make phone calls and talk to people, how do I do that? Well, there's a few approaches that you can use out there, but this one is my particular favorite. Okay. I just learned this building method from a multi-millionaire, which means you also just learned the building method of a multi-millionaire. So if you were talking to somebody, this is what you might say. You might say, I just spent the last several hours learning how multimillionaires make their money. I have a plan. I know exactly how to do it, and I'm about to do it, and I want to take you with me. When can we meet? Now, a few parts of that are important. Number one, if you're talking to the right person, if you're talking to a business-minded, entrepreneurial, financially driven and motivated person, do they want to know how multimillionaires make their money? Yes, they do. If you're talking to that person and you say, when can we meet? Notice how I didn't say, can we meet? Notice how I didn't say, would you like to meet? I said, when can we meet? Because I am going to assume the sale. I am going to employ something called TNT. Take control and tell them what to do, okay? TNT, assume the sale. I just spent the last several hours learning how multimillionaires make their millions. Unbelievable. I have been enlightened. I have a plan. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I want you to come do it with me. When can we meet? Now, remember, what did I do? I just outlined for them. I told them where I'm going. I'm going to go make millions. I have a plan, and I know exactly what I'm doing. I told them why I'm talking to them. I want you to come do it with me. They know why I'm talking to them. And then what I do, I made sure to sing the close. When can we meet? When can we meet? All right. Now, once I've done that, I can then set up an appointment for them. Now, one of a couple responses is going to come out. Okay. They are either going to, number one, they're going to give you a date and time, and they're going to say, why make me wait? Let's talk now. I've had that one too. They're going to schedule an appointment with you. Done. Take it. Schedule that appointment, make that phone call, or go face to face, sit down and meet with them and have that meeting. Okay. That's the first response you might get. The second response is, good for you. I'm happy for, I'm really excited for you, but I'm not interested, or that's not for me, or I don't have time. Guess what? You now know. You now know you're not talking to the right person. This is not an entrepreneur. This is not a business-minded person. This is a person who is not in that frame of mind. But you know what the brilliant part about that is? That is no problem, because we're looking for 3 types of people, remember? We're looking for the business owners, but we're also looking for salespeople, and we're also looking for customers. Okay? So here's what you didn't do. You didn't tell them anything about your product yet. Okay? You just told them that you're going to go do something. So what you open the door up for yourself to do is, in a couple weeks later, you can call them back and say, hey, remember how I was doing that, how I told you I was going to do that business? I've found the product that I'm working with and you have to try it. Now, guess what they already know? They already know you're doing business for yourself. They know that you're selling a product, not offering them to share a product. You're not offering to give them a product because you told them you're building a business and now you just said, I found the product that I'm going to do it with. You have to try it. Now you're offering the opportunity to try your product. And they can become a customer, and you didn't burn any bridges because you didn't get into too much information that they weren't interested in the time and ruin your chance to talk to them about being a customer. So you just established yourself with the opportunity to now pre-select them. They select who they are before you ever continue the conversation. And those are your responses. So if they give you a date and time, they're a good potential business owner. You want to give them a presentation. If they're good for you, but that's not for me, they just identified themselves as a customer, treat them that way. Let them know, hey, no big deal. Absolutely no big deal. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to do this. I'm excited about it. And I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. And a couple weeks later, call them up and tell them, hey, you remember that business that I was starting? I just found the product I'm going to do this with. And you've got to try it. And now you have a customer approach. So those are the two things.
Okay. All right. I hope you all enjoyed that. I get something out of it every time that I listen to it. If your heart isn't racing a little bit right now, or you're pounding, or your mind isn't racing, you probably don't have any entrepreneurial spirit in you, because she just told you the ideal way to build this business and do it in a fun way where you're working with friends and building something that can benefit all of you. She also showed you how that the way you build it so that everybody's going to get paid, everybody's going to be excited, everybody's going to want to be part of this. So this is a proven way for everybody to become financially free. Like she said, the gentleman that created this, 15 years after he got out of the business, he was still making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Okay, so he built a strong team. When she was talking, I told you some of the information was based off of a previous company she was in, and she talked about 10 lines, building 10 lines wide. Well, guess what? With our company, My Daily Choice, to go to super affiliate, you only need to have 3 lines wide. To go to master affiliate, you only need 5. Okay, so we're making it easier for us to do this than that previous company. And the great thing about this is what we're always looking for. We're always looking for those leaders that have that entrepreneurial spirit, that are ready to build. And when we find, say, 3 of them, and we want to work our way to a super affiliate, we spend the rest of our career helping those 3 people become wealthy. Can you imagine the strength of that when people are aware that, hey, my upline, the person who got me into this business is focusing on making me wealthy. Not just me focusing on making myself wealthy, but my upline is focused on making me wealthy, because he knows if he does it for me and for a couple other people, he's going to become successful by default. So again, this is a great presentation. I think it's obviously, I showed you this in the back office, is one of the 8 videos that I showed you in the starter kit. So you can show people it whenever you want to. To me, it's the secret sauce that we need to build our business. And she does a great job of doing it. As I said, it's a little dated, but the concept is incredibly strong and never changes. So having said that, hey guys, I'm a little bit over the hour. I appreciate you all staying on. We have so much momentum going on right now around the world, but especially in Africa. I'm seeing so much momentum in like 7 or 8 different countries. We are ready to kick this thing into a new level. I know what's going to happen. We're going to start building here. We're going to build momentum through December. There'll be a little pause during the holidays. I understand that. But then we're going to explode this business January, February, March into April. It's going to be huge. And so you want to be part of this. You want to be part of it right now, because this is the greatest momentum I've ever seen on the African continent. And we're not going to stop for anything. We're going to blow this thing up. So having said all that, guys, thanks for being on the call. Love you all. Can't wait to see you all succeed. can't wait to give you a hug when you do succeed. And I will see you again throughout this week with all different presentations we got going on. And I'll definitely see you next Monday on Mondays with Dale. So have a great week.